Hello, Rykart. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Waiting for the peeps to show up. This party started. Just going to listen as I drive tonight. Ah, you stay safe out there as you drive. Where are you headed tonight? Bet it's not going to be South Dakota. Indiana. Ah, I've been to Indiana. But pretty state. Flat, but pretty. Arkansas right now. Well, either way, you stay safe out there. Where is everybody? Where, oh, where are the peeps tonight? Doo-doo. There's Inner Peas. Good evening, Inner Peas. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I don't like Indiana, but the people are really hardworking and nice people there. You know, it all depends on where you go. I guess everybody. There's certain parts of just about every state that it's got its positives and its negatives to it. And I don't see as many people like you would in your day to day life. Sure, you would have a lot more interactions with people in a much broader spectrum than I would. But I just know from when I was in Indiana, Ohio, in that middle part of the United States, I had really good interactions with people that I met. Welcome, Lori Sutton and Reichart. Good evening. 5 minutes in. Do, 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 do. You have 10 likes. Good. I hope that that more people join us, Inner Peace. I haven't seen Lori Sutton's name though, as in the comments. You said hello. I'm guessing she's here. I hope so. I'll give it another minute, and then we're gonna get this party started for just a few of us, I guess. See what happens. There's Lori Sutton. I'm here. Well, welcome, Lori. I hope you had a wonderful weekend as well. Thank you for joining us tonight. Tonight we are doing the last meals of stars. These are stars of motion pictures and of music industry. They're all very well-known stars. No B-listers or people you've never heard of before. And all of these I have confirmed with the following, that these are their last meals that they had before their untimely death. Either I reached out to their production manager or manager, whichever they had, or if both, family, friends, anyone who it was near them, personally, and could confirm to what their last meal is. And a couple of them are from the confirmation comes from the autopsy of the individual. Anita Butts. Good evening, Anita. Good evening. Michael Jackson was murdered. I get with propofol, that'll do that to you. I found out the hard way myself, the allergic reactions you can have to propofol. And it's listed on my medical charts forever that I'm actually allergic to it. All right, we're going to get this party started, ladies and gentlemen. So here is the first question for tonight. Let me get myself my little window. There we go. Last meal of the stars. He shot the sheriff, but he did not shoot the deputy. What was the last known meal of reggae superstar Bob Marley? Died May 11th, 1981. Was it A, steak and corn, B, a garden green salad, C, chickpea soup and wheat roll, or D, cake and ice cream? What was Bob Marley's last meal? Michael Jackson was murdered. Michael Jackson is on this list. He is on there. I don't know which question it is, but I know he's in here. I love your setting. Thank you. E, a Happy Meal. Chicken nuggets Happy Meal. Every time I buy a Happy Meal for my son, right, Cart, my son always eats the apple slices, and then he'll eat the French fries. I can't. If I get him the nugget, Happy Meal, he might eat, the nuggets, but he doesn't like them. If I got him the cheeseburger, he just takes the cheeseburger out of the burger patty and the cheese and won't eat the bun. He's funny that way. It's always the apple slices. He always eats the apple slices first. What was Bob Marley's last meal? Enter P's. F, Pop-Tarts. Pop-Tarts while riding around in a Yugo being chased by a mountain lion. Last known meal of the stars. He shot the sheriff, but he did not shoot the deputy. What was the last known meal of reggae superstar Bob Marley? Died May 11th, 1981. The correct answer to question 1 is C as in cat. Chickpea soup with a wheat roll. Chickpea soup in a wheat roll. Bob Marley was a very stout, and very strict vegetarian. He wasn't a vegan, he was a vegetarian. And everything in his life came from herbs. He was very much into what the earth provided. All right, question number 2. He was a true rebel without a cause. Racing was a passion of his. Living life faster was a bigger passion. What was James Dean's last meal? Died September 30th, 1955. Was it A, A cheeseburger and fries. B, a corn dog and tater tots. C, a buffet of different Indian food. Or D, apple pie and a glass of milk. What was James Dean's final meal? E, sausage. Sausage. James Dean, actor, was in the movie Giant. Obviously, the main actor in Rebel Without a Cause. He's still one of the most widely purchased. Has his likeness on so many different items. He's still posters and T-shirts, and all kinds of things. It has James Dean's, likeness on it. And a lot of people believe that the Porsche Spider, Speedster Spider that he was in, was actually cursed because after he died in the car accident, the car was sold off for parts, and parts of that car went into other race cars, and where somebody died in that race car, so they believe the entire car was cursed. Most of the car, they have no idea what happened to it. They believe most of it was scrapped eventually. But what was James Dean's last meal? We got A, B, and C. Anybody of the other 10 people out there want to throw in a guess for D? Because nobody's guessed D yet. If you're new here and you're just hanging out and watching, you're free to join. Just type in A, B, C, or D as your what you think the answer is. And I'll make sure to say hello. Everybody is welcome to participate along with us. We're just playing for fun. Last meal of James Dean. Do, do, do. Okay, question number 2. The correct answer is D, as in dog. Apple pie and a glass of milk. He bought it at a roadside diner less than an hour before the crash that inevitably took his life. There, he bought a slice of apple pie and a glass of milk, and then died in that car accident, single car accident, and hit telephone pole on September 30th, 1955. And his last meal, by the way, was confirmed by his autobiographer. Question 3. Excuse me. Question 3. He sang about Broadway and his love of New York. He was always a lover, and his blue eyes could see right through a cold heart. What was Frank Sinatra's last meal? Died May 14th, 1998. Was it A, chocolate cake, 2 cookies, and a glass of milk? B, cold day-old pizza with the works and a beer? C, 2 grilled cheese sandwiches? Or D, lobster and shrimp? What was Frank Sinatra's last meal? Good evening, Gemma. Welcome to tonight's trivia. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. And their pizza is going with a plate of spaghetti. The spaghetti. Lori Sutton's going with B, cold pizza and a beer. What was Frank Sinatra's final meal? Gemma's going with D, lobster and shrimp. That sounds good. I'm not much of a fan of lobster myself, but it's good, every once in a while. I'd rather have like fish, just plain fish, nothing on it. Oh, thank you, Interpiece, for putting the link to Gemma's journey. That is Gemma's YouTube channel there. And good evening, Misty Waters. Misty Waters is guessing C for her answer. 2 grilled cheese sandwiches. Thank you for Interpiece for sharing my channel. And Pigeon Mac. Good evening, Pigeon Mac. We are on question number 3. I hope you had a wonderful weekend so far, Pigeon Mac. This question, number 3, is Frank Sinatra. We are doing the last known meals of the stars. Stars of motion pictures and movies. Pigeon Mac is going with C, 2 grilled cheese sandwiches. What was Frank Sinatra's last meal? I'm in bed watching Will's. It's early hour of Mondays here. I did email you last week. Yes, Gemma, I got your email. You should have received a response from me. I'll check it after this, but I didn't send it in the same one. I sent a new one. I hope you got it. If not, I can resend it. Excuse me. Frank Sinatra. Hope you had a great weekend too, Trivia Master. I did, Pigeon Mac, but me and my entire family are all coming down with the flu or cold or something. Been last couple of days. I took a bunch of Sudafed and what is it? Like the Dayquil stuff. Just I'll find out. Don't feel the best, but I'm here. I'm here because I am the Trivia Master. All right, Frank Sinatra. His final meal was C as in cat, 2 grilled cheese sandwiches. And ladies and gentlemen, he ate grilled cheese sandwiches. It didn't matter if they were for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. He loved them. He ate both of his grilled cheese sandwiches and died shortly thereafter. I'm not entirely sure if he died of a heart attack or what it was, whatever his final cause of death was. But 2 grilled cheese sandwiches was his final meal. All right, question 4. Can you hear that bass note? You may not recall his name. Real fans such as myself will know this man's work. What was the last meal of Gary Thane? Died December 8th, 1975. He was the original bass player for Uriah Heep. What was his last meal? Was it A, bread, cookies, and beer? C, white rice, soy sauce, and cooked shrimp? C, clam chowder and crackers? Or D, pills, beer, and a candy bar? Callie Lisa, good evening and welcome. I hope you had a wonderful weekend, Callie Lisa. Callie Lisa's guess is D, pills, beer, and candy bar. Don't take the quill stuff. Well, it's so far, Anita, it's helped me stop from sniffling all day. My nose has been running like crazy. But the chest congestion and the body ache. I mean, just about every part of my body. I feel like I got ran over by a car. Samantha Mustard McDowell is in the house. I'm late. You're good, Samantha. And good evening, Samantha. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. We're on question number 4. I don't know if everybody can see that the number in the upper left-hand corner. I might have to center the question number so they're down and over more towards the T in trivia. I didn't realize that it was going to get covered up by the live or whatever in the corner as much. But last meal of Gary Thane died December 8th, 1975, the original bass player for Heat. What was his last meal? Question number 4. Well, it's working. I like the layout. It's easy to read, but I see what you mean about the question number. Yeah, I didn't even notice that until just now that it's up too high in the left, being covered over. But I can always move that around. I'm glad you like the layout though. I'm always kind of bummed on Sunday afternoons because I know I have to work tomorrow, but this live helps. Well, good, Callie Lisa. I'm glad that you're enjoying it. I hope that we can set off the weekend on a positive note for you. Samantha Mustard McDowell is guessing C, clam chowder and crackers. What was his last meal? You enjoy our little live, Samantha Mustard McDowell? That's good. I'm glad you enjoy it. I hope that to offer something that everybody likes. Hot Pockets. I have to find that meal plan for Josh Duggar because I know Hot Pockets are on the menu. I just don't remember what day of the week they are, if it's lunch or if it's a dinner. But Hot Pockets are definitely on there. Because I remember that. I was like, oh, look, they have Hot Pockets. I think it might have been a lunch, but I would be guessing at that right now. I have the meal plan somewhere. I have it printed out. I just don't remember where I put it. I might have put it in one of the folders with. Where are you guys? We got people from all over the world. Callie Lisa. I'm in Washington State. We got people from Ireland and UK in here, and we got some who are, traveling the roads of America. People all over the place. That's the most exciting part. You never know who's going to join. All right, what was Gary Thane's last meal? Ladies and gentlemen, the correct answer is A as in apple. Bread, cookies, and beer were the last items that Gary Thane had before he died. He had bread. He had part of a French bread loaf. He ate 2 chocolate chip cookies and half of a beer. Pocono Mountains, says Lori. Pocono Mountains, Pennsylvania. Northern Ireland. You're near Belfast. RJ, good evening, RJ. Meet the Butts is in Canada. Me too, Interpeas. As if you did not know from the name Callie Lisa. All right, question number 5. Beat It, Billie Jean, Thriller was just some of this man's hits. What was the last known meal of pop star Michael Jackson? Died June 25th, 2009. Was it A, grilled chicken and green beans and wine? C, grilled tuna on a bed of lettuce with a side of squash? C, a cheese pizza? Or D, pills, vodka, crackers, and milk? What was Michael Jackson's last meal? In Pigeon Mac, I live in the sky. That's cute. I live in the sky. That is cute. I mean, it is a pigeon, right? But even a pigeon has to eventually land. If your pigeon lands, where does it land? Wherever it wants to. It doesn't know what state it's in. It doesn't care. It's a bird. What was the last known meal of Michael Jackson? We got D, got a couple B's. We know he died from an overdose of propofol. And Samantha Mr. McDowell is going with A. Janice, good evening. Welcome. Going with B. I hope you had a wonderful week with Janice. Thank you for joining us tonight. Anita is going with A. B, please. What was the last known meal from Michael Jackson? Do, 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 do. And the answer to question number 5 is B as in boy. The answer for Michael Jackson's last meal was he had a dinner of grilled ahi tuna on a bed of lettuce with a side of squash. Hallelujah. Good evening. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to tonight's trivia. But his personal chef made him the final meal of grilled ahi tuna on a bed of lettuce with a side of squash. And Inner P says E, popcorn. All right, question number 6. Don't believe the lies. Ellen Naomi Cohen, aka Mama Cass from the Mamas and the Papas, did not choke to death on a ham sandwich. She is California dreaming even today. What was her last meal? Died July 29th, 1974. Was it A, a ham sandwich, B, chocolate cake and milk, C, fried eggs, hash browns with gravy, or D, a burger fries from In-N-Out? The story about her choking to death on a ham sandwich was a lie that came up from her actual producer. There was a partially eaten sandwich that was found on a table, but it had nothing to do with her actual cause of death. Mama Cass, what was Mama Cass's last meal? Damon, do I think Mama Cass deserved it? Do I think Mama Cass deserved what, Damon? And good evening. Haven't seen you around for a while, Damon. Hope you've been doing well. Happy meals don't work. Wait, C, D. Oh, B, Ellen Naomi Cohen. Well, thank you, Nita. I'm glad you're enjoying the questions. Last week, if you go back and watch the trivia, last week was Last Meals of the Condemned. This week is Last Meals of Stars. Turn the page here. Next week is Al Capone. Next week. The week after that is, look at my answer sheets here. General crime trivia. And then we have YouTube creators who were arrested. Those are the ones that are coming up. Anita is going with C, and her piece is going with Mountain Lion. Are you guys talking to me? I'll be there probably late. Fun time. Good. Mr. Frosty, I win. You're always a winner, Mr. Frosty, and good evening. Welcome to tonight's trivia. All right. Ellen Naomi Cohen, a.k.a. Mama Cass, did not choke to death on a ham sandwich. She is California dreaming to this very day. What was her last meal? Question 6. Her last meal was B as in boy, chocolate cake, and a glass of milk. Yeah, the Eagles won. I'm actually happy that the 49ers lost. Sorry to all the 49er fans out there. I saw after Brock Purdy got hurt during the game and then was forced to come back after John Johnson or Josh Johnson, whichever it is, got hurt. He was forced to come back in. I knew it the writing was on the wall, after the first half, because the defense kept on getting in their own way. But chocolate cake and a glass of milk was Mama Cass's last meal. So B as in boy, Janice, B. All right, question 7. Because while I kiss the sky. Yes, no kidding. That is exactly what he says. Jimi Hendrix never said, excuse me while I kiss the sky. Excuse me while I kiss the sky. Known for his guitar skills and psychedelic lyrics, what was Jimi Hendrix's last known meal? Died September 17th, 1970. And that YouTube link is to the actual song itself and the lyrics, in case you want to type that in or copy and paste it. Was it A, tuna salad sandwich, B, grilled chicken and carrots, C, LSD and plain chips, or D, banana pudding? What was Jimi Hendrix's last meal? No meal. Wow, I kissed this guy. Catalisa D. Hallelujah is going with C. Pigeon Mac is going with C. LSD and plain chips. Lean sausage delight. Big Mac combo, regular Coke and a medium fries. Here you go. E, meth. I want LSD, says Anita Butts. Anita wants to go tripping on the magical wings of a unicorn, flying through the skies. Shillings and pence. Janice is going with C. A lot of guesses for LSD. Drugs and plain potato chips. Jimi Hendrix. What was his last meal? Died September 17th, 1970. PPP. Puff, puff, puff. The Light Fandango. Jimi Hendrix. Wee. What was Jimi Hendrix's last meal? I hate to think anyone could choke on banana pudding. You make me choke. What was Jimi Hendrix's last meal? All right, ladies and gentlemen, for question 7, what was Jimi Hendrix's last meal? Ladies and gentlemen, his last meal was a tuna salad sandwich, A as in apple. And Jimmy used to eat tuna salad sandwiches at least twice a week. According to his biographer, it was one of the things that he absolutely loved to eat whenever he could get somebody to make him a tuna salad sandwich. That's what he liked to eat. But a tuna salad sandwich. Question 8. Need you tonight. The 21st century was yesterday. So slide over here. Give me a moment. What was the last known meal of pop legend Michael Hutchence? Died November 22nd, 1997. Was it A, Chinese food, B, Korean food, C, Cuban food, or D, Indian food? If you don't know who Michael Hutchence was, he was the lead singer of In Excess. He hung out with his friends and family before going back to his hotel room where he would eventually take his life. Yeah. But what was his last meal? I miss In Excess so much. They were a terrific band. Paula Yates. A. I met the band in the 80s. There you go, Callie Lisa. That's cool. Who was he? He was the lead singer, Anita, of the band In Excess. INXS, In Excess. They're a 1980s pop band. But he did a lot more than just, was the lead singer of the band. He also had, music he released solo. You got an autograph by them? That's cool. Janice is sticking with C. Pigeon Mac is going with B. Need you tonight. The 21st century was yesterday, so slide over here. Give me a moment. Those are the actual lyrics. Gerdolf took on Tiger Lily as one of his own. after Paula's tragic death. C, Hallelujah is going with C, Cuban food. Pigeon Mac, Korean food. What was Michael Hutchinson's last meal? Question number 8. Juicy Jules is in the house. Juicy Jules. Good evening, Juicy Jules. Juicy Jules is going with C, Cuban food. All right, question 8, ladies and gentlemen. What was Michael Hutchinson's last meal? His last meal was a buffet, a little bit of everything. And the correct letter is D as in dog, Indian food. They had ordered between 10 and 13 main courses, and everybody took a little bit and passed the food around on the table. So it was like a buffet, like dinner of all of the guests. There were 7 people in attendance at dinner. But Indian food, D as in dog, for question 8. All right. Moving on to question 9. She eyes me like Macy's when I'm weak. I've been locked inside your heart-shaped box for weeks. Everyone has to agree the legend changed music forever. What was the last known meal of Kurt Cobain? Died April 5th, 1994. Was it A, heroin, crackers, pizza, and vodka? B, heroin in a cheese sandwich? C, a banana deluxe, a dessert? Or D, Campbell's chicken noodle soup? What was Kurt Cobain's last known meal? Confirmed by his autopsy results. Plus, there's a lot more to it that confirms it on top of that. Jennifer Hill, good evening. Now I'm 30 seconds behind, but I like that I shared. Thank you, Samantha Mustard McDowell. Hallelujah's going with B, and Lori Sutton's going with D. Juicy Jules is going with C. A banana deluxe, a dessert. Pigeon Mac D, Jennifer Hill A. Janice Campfield is going with D. What was his last known meal? Kurt Cobain, C. Kurt Cobain. Anita Butts is going with D. Campbell's chicken noodle soup. Some of these people you kind of feel bad for when it's like the last meal you're going to eat in your life. It's like, really? Yeah, that's not exactly what I would like to have for my last meal. But then again, some of them didn't exactly know they were going to die when they did. So, and other people, like Kurt Cobain, believe the conspiracy theories. He believed that, that Courtney Love had something to do with his death. But either way, he's still gone. But he definitely changed the music forever. Short true story. A long time ago, a boyfriend, dad had a big birthday party, drinking heavily, choked on a piece of meat and died. We all saw it. Oh man, that sucks. C and Psy. C and Psy. In this question? Pigeon and TSI. No sigh. Yes, in Spanish. Ah. So sad it happened to my cousin a few years ago eating fish and chips. That sucks. It's a filler. Okay. Question number 9. What was the last known meal of Kurt Cobain, who died April 5th, 1994? His last meal, ladies and gentlemen, was C as in cat, banana dolce. So what happened in this case, not only can we confirm this is his last meal by the autopsy results, but we can also confirm it because of the following. After he left rehab, Courtney Love put a stop and hold a freeze on all of his credit cards and his debit cards that he had. So none of them would work. That night, he had gone out to dinner with a business associate and another individual who they never do really name who it is, but he went to one of his favorite restaurants. When he went to go pay, his card was declined. He tried an additional card, it was declined. So he wrote an actual check for his final meal to this little restaurant. But banana dolce, a dessert, was the last thing he ate. The following day is when he would take his own life, but he ate nothing between then and then. Let's be light. Lemon pie. Good evening. Well, welcome. So C as in cat was the correct answer for question 9. Question 10. There's no happy way to say this. Famous for being me, being only me. I will die being me and not you. That's an actual quote by the man himself. What was the last known meal of comedy star Jim Belushi? You could say comedy star, actor, musician, but Jim Belushi died March 5th, 1982. What was his last meal? Was it lentil soup, crackers, B, chickpea soup and a ham sandwich, C, burger and fries, or D, pills and bread with butter? What was Jim Belushi's last meal? Question 10. Tammy, good evening, Tammy, and welcome to tonight's trivia. I hope in purple, good evening. I don't want to hear the traumatic experiences. I am retired RCMP officer and would ask respectfully to keep this light. I don't know what was said. Le Big Mac. Well, what did he say in the movie in Pulp Fiction? John Travolta said he just got back from France and they called it was it leg quarter pounder with cheese or something like that. Royal. Royal with cheese. Royale with cheese. Thank you, Lemon Pie. Royale with cheese. Room just woke up. Yeah. They don't got the metric system, mofo. They don't use the imperial measurements in France, so no quarter pounder. What was Jim Belushi's last meal? Say what? Moo? What? One more time. I dare you. I double dare you. Ezekiel 25:17. I think somebody's seen the movie Pulp Fiction before. I like Harvey Keitel's movies. I think he's done a very good job with everything I've seen. Mm. There's no happy way to say this. I'm famous for being me, being only me. I will die being me and not you. What was the last known meal of comedy star Jim Belushi? Yeah, well, yeah, you're right. I didn't catch that until right now, Lisa. Good call. Jim is still alive. It should be John. John Belushi, the actor, died March 5th, 1982. Good call. You caught that. I didn't even notice that. I read that 3 times and I hadn't even caught that. I was like, what? What are you talking about? I'm like, you're right. Jim is very much alive and probably in Chicago someplace or, Midwest doing something. He has a whole line of products. But either way, John Belushi, comedy star John Belushi, died March 5th, 1982. What was his final meal? Question 10. The answer is A as in apple, lentil soup, and crackers. He had little oyster crackers and lentil soup. Was his final meal. And thank you for catching that. Wow, I read that 3 times and didn't even see that. I was just like, I just reading it, not even thinking. Yeah, it definitely should have said John, not Jim. Jim is very much alive. All right. Yeah, I'd rather have the hamburger and fries myself too. All right, question 11. Imagine how long my career could have lasted. Imagine, if you can, a world without war, suffering, or hatred. Imagine it. What was the last known meal of, yes, John Lennon? He died, murdered December 8th, 1980. What was his last meal? Was it A, steak and eggs, B, corned beef sandwich, C, Korean food platter, or D, cheese and sausage pizza? What was John Lennon's final meal? Cheeseburger, cheeseburger, cheeseburger. A, for me, please. Starfire, good evening, Starfire, and welcome to tonight's trivia. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Smash burgers. What was John Lennon's last meal? Murdered December 8th, 1980. How time flies. Wait, are we supposed to just pick what we want to eat, right? You can if you want, Pigeon Mac. Pick whatever you want. You can pick what they ate. That's usually what we'll give you the right answer, what you think they ate. But if you want to just pick what you want to eat, you can. Mac. Yeah, FedEx. Excuse me. What was John Lennon's last meal? Willis. The tragedy and circumstances is what led him to be there, you know, when he was shot and killed. If they wouldn't have gone back to the apartment, he would be, I don't know, he probably would still be alive today. You can only guess. But circumstances is what got him. They went out to eat, and then they went back to the apartment, and then they were going to go someplace else. I think they were going to go out. Reuben sandwich sounds good now, says Starfire. So he wasn't even bothered by, you know, him addressing him, coming up to him, because he had already gave him an autograph earlier in the day. So seeing him standing outside of the apartment again, it was kind of like, oh, okay, seeing you already. Didn't set off any alarms. That's how he was able to get so close to him to fire at point blank range and kill him. John Lennon. Terribly sad because he was a nice guy. He got killed. Yeah. What was John Lennon's last meal? Alas, we will never know what if, but and maybes have been avoided. I'm about to make some lettuce cups. What is a lettuce cup? I don't know what that is, Pigeon Mac. What is a lettuce cup? Is it like a piece of lettuce and then you fill it with something? I don't know. Never heard of a lettuce cup. Probably good though. All right. What was John Lennon's last meal, ladies and gentlemen? Question 11. His last meal was B as in boy, a corned beef sandwich. He had a corned beef sandwich and then decided to go back to the apartment to retrieve something else, and then they were going to go out for dessert, from what I believe. You know, I don't know. That part is up in the air where they were actually headed, him and Yoko. But Larb, yeah. But there he was shot and killed. All right, question 12. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. What was Elvis Presley's last known meal? Died August 16th, 1977. Was it A, carrot cake, B, ice cream sandwiches, C, apple pie and ice cream, or D, banana peanut butter sandwich? What was Elvis Presley's last known meal? D, B, already know? B, D, what was Elvis Presley's? Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. What was Elvis Presley's last known meal? Died August 16th, 1977. D. A fried banana peanut butter sandwich. Pigeon Mac. How long did it take you to find a the icon, little emoji for a toilet, which is actually it's urban myth that he actually died while on the toilet. There's a lot of things about his death that that are not what people think they are. D, his favorite. Beautiful, Will. Well, thank you. D, his favorite. He was found dead in the bathroom. That is true. But he wasn't on the toilet. E, a milkshake. He was all shook up. Oh. It's good. Peyton, good evening. I hope you had a wonderful weekend, Peyton. A clam bake. Ooh. I did. Cold. Well, I hope you're able to stay warm somewhat, Peyton. I haven't been. Oh, I was looking at clam bake. It reminded me going to. We have a place here. It's called Bob's. We went there. My wife doesn't like seafood or any kind of fish or anything like that, but she had the steak and some kind of pasta. But they have like you have the option. They bring it out in a bucket. It's like clams and oysters and crawfish and corn on the cob. You get all of it, and they just bring it out into a bucket for you. Judy Garland died that way too. Freezing here in Colorado, Peyton? I'm sorry. BOB, battery operated boyfriend. Seafood is your favorite food? Yeah, I'm not allowed to eat any kind of seafood or fish or anything like that at home. My wife can't stand the smell of any of it. So whenever I want fish or seafood or something like that, I have to go out to eat. That's all right though. It's what marriage is all about. It's give and take, give and take. Trissy Jules is going with B, ice cream sandwiches. B, Bob. The last meal of Elvis Presley. What was it? All right, the last known meal of Elvis Presley, ladies and gentlemen, was 2 ice cream sandwiches. These are not like the ones you buy in the supermarket that are frozen, like in a box. These are individual ice cream sandwiches with a cookie, an actual real cookie on the outside, and ice cream sandwiched in between it. He had the B as in boy was his last meal. He had 2 ice cream sandwiches. My ex-husband is allergic to mushrooms. He was lucky. What about Bob? It's freezing here in the Seattle area. Is it purple? Well, it's not exactly freezing here. I mean, pretty cold. It's 28 degrees over here on the other side of the mountains. So, it's not like any of us are, in a heat wave. Elvis ate D. Yes, he did. But Amelia, welcome. But it wasn't what he ate as his last meal. Ice cream sandwiches was his last meal. I'm getting an F tonight. Uh-oh. We have those in California made here. Call it it's ice cream sandwiches doing the work. My baby stepping. Question number 13. Break on through. Break on through to the other side. A multi-talented man who passed away too soon. What was Jim Morrison's last meal? Died July 3rd, 1971. Passed away. Elvis mechanic for his pink Cadillac for a while. Wow. Was Jim Morrison's last meal a tuna salad and crackers, B, cheese pizza, C, plain noodles with butter, or D, Chinese food? Jim Morrison. Oh, yeah. I was reading that. Come back here question. Did a guy who didn't like movies, I knew he wasn't for me. Lumpia. B for boy. What was Jim Morrison's final meal? Jim Morrison being the lead singer of the band The Doors. What was Jim Morrison's final meal? Smoke 'em if you got 'em. C, says Tammy. Jennifer's going with A. Jen is going with D. Purple is going with D as well. Didn't he overdose? Jim Morrison? He actually drowned on aspirated fluid from his stomach. Cheeseburger, cheeseburger, cheeseburger. aspirated fluid. So basically drowned to death on his own vomit. But he was he had charges pending in the U.S. at the time for public nudity and obscenity and public nudity, I think it was. He probably would have been gotten a fine. Jim ate in the Soul Kitchen. He cooked it after Baby lit his fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Didn't she on stage, Will? He took a piss. I don't know about if he took a shit on stage, but hallelujah. But I know he took a piss on stage. He also he pulled out his manhood and showed it to the audience and were in attendance. But they probably would have just given him, a fine eventually, and said, don't do it again. If he would have served any jail time at all, it would have been very minor, if anything at all. But we'll never know because the case never got that far. But what was Jim Morrison's last meal? Booze. I heard it was that big of a deal. It says hallelujah. It wasn't that big of a deal. But yeah, did those things? Well, maybe he wouldn't have if he was like in his right mind. But you do enough drugs like that for that extended period of time, that he had been doing them all. I'm sure you lose some ambitions and at the same time lose your damn mind. But Jim Morrison's last meal, ladies and gentlemen, was D as in dog, Chinese food. Him and his girlfriend went out to dinner and had Chinese food. And Jim said that he was feeling not right afterwards and went back, got up early in the night because he couldn't sleep and decided to take a bath, and he died in the bathtub. Made me drop my drink. I'd throw tomatoes. Couldn't find a bathroom in time. All right, question number 14. They tried to make me go to rehab, but I said, no. She would be alive today, most likely, if she had gone. What was Amy Winehouse's last known meal? Died July 23rd, 2011. Was it A, a hamburger, B, cheese and crackers, C, chicken sandwich, or D, unknown because her family refused an autopsy? What was Amy Winehouse's last known meal? Kicked out of a bar in my younger days for dancing on the bar. But were you having fun, Peyton, when you did it? Interpees E with a glass of wine. Hell yes. There you go. Well, it may have been an embarrassment then or now, whichever how you look at it. But at least you had fun. I'm just glad that, a lot of people say, I did all the dumb shit in my life while, before cell phones and the internet. B, it goes with alcohol. I was never embarrassed. There you go, Peyton, says Jennifer. What was Amy Winehouse's last meal? She had a hell of a discography, a hell of a range, vocal range for what she could sing, and the notes that she could sing for, and how long she could hold them. Once in a lifetime. Boy, me too, Will. Thankfully, no cameras around back then. No, that's true. Because now everything is uploading on the internet and it's viral in minutes. My cats don't seem to understand. I'm in a live chat. Your cats. Go watch the taco podcast episode for today that me and my wife shot earlier this morning. I must have picked the cat up 6 times off the table, and then finally the cat just curled up, and decided to sleep, on my wife's laptop in her arms. I'm old and I still do dumb things. Out of cake. My dogs won't leave me alone. I told her I'm busy. Cats are saying Samantha doesn't seem to understand the human cat subservience relationship. You always forget about the taco podcast. I don't know how many questions we actually answered, but we went through the last 2 years of questions and we put them all together in one big episode that people, that viewers have asked us. All right, question number 14. The correct answer for question 14 is D as in dog. Her family refused to do an autopsy and did not want to know what her final meal was or what the last things that she ingested were. But according to her friend, the last thing that she had was a cheeseburger. But it can't be confirmed because her family, again, so D is the correct answer. That her family absolutely refused to do an autopsy and know what was her last meal was, but she had a cheeseburger with a friend. So if you guessed either A or D, I will give you, the correct, and that is being correct. A or D. But D is actually the truthful fact. No one knows because her family refused to know. All right, question 15. Talented actress, talented singer, mother, sister, and friend to many. What was the last thing, singular item, Whitney Houston ate? She died February 11th, 2012. Was it A single carrot stick, B, a hamburger patty and nothing else, C, half a slice of bread, or D, 2 bites of a cupcake? What was the last thing, absolute last thing, not a whole meal, but was the last thing that Whitney Houston ate? Lemon pie going with D. Crack is whack. There's a giant sign of that Keith Haring did that's in Chicago. As you pull in from the Amtrak station, crack is whack. Guessing A single carrot stick, bath water. I actually used to know this, but now I forgot. Starfire's going with D as well. And Samantha is going with A. Pigeon Mac is guessing A. Knowledge is power. Whitney Houston. Peyton going with D. What was the last thing that Whitney Houston ate before she died February 11th, 2012? And for all those who think that she would have died because she was involved in a dead-end relationship with Bobby Brown, no. Whitney was already on her own course of destruction well before Bobby Brown ever came into the picture. Unfortunately, everybody around her was using her, and nobody was really looking out for her best interest. And unfortunately, that happens a lot, and especially in today's society, there's not anybody who's really watching out for some of these people. Talking from the 80s on, it's kind of like, hey, whatever happened to the manager, who would save that star from their own self-destruction? Yeah, she even separated several times already by then. Yeah. Talented actress, talented singer, mother, sister, and friend to many. What was the last singular item Whitney Houston ate and she died February 11th, 2012. So sad. It is. Question number 15. Besides Dancing with Wolves, My Bodyguard with Kevin Costner is probably one of the better movies I've seen from Kevin Costner. I didn't like the Water World or whatever the hell it was. Didn't get the idea behind it. I mean, I got the premise of the movie, but I just didn't understand. I thought it was overdone. Even then, now we know just how far overdone it was. My daughter died at the age of 22. I'm sorry, Peyton. Half and two are not singular. I think you got me there, Samantha. Excuse me. What was the last thing that Whitney Houston ate? Ladies and gentlemen, the answer for question 15 is B as in boy, a hamburger patty with nothing else. These are the following things that they ordered from room service: a Bud Light, 2 sodas, fried chicken, a hamburger with French fries, a side little dish of mixed fruit, a slice of whole wheat toast, no butter. These were the things that were ordered from room service. She ate the hamburger patty out of the burger and nothing else. That was the last thing that she ate before she died. So, how did you do tonight? Did you get 12 to 15 correct for an A? 8 to 11 correct for a B? 4 to 7 correct for a C? 1 to 3 correct for a D? Or are you just all mountain lion level of correctness? Trivia games and knowledge of the answers list of facts don't comprise of real knowledge, nor does it make us an expert at anything. According to Ken Jennings. Who's Ken Jennings? He is the one person who holds the record for the most wins on Jeopardy. Damn it, I'm a D student. I don't know why not. When it comes to life and death, we all live, and none of us gets out of this life alive. Uh, you know, poking fun or making jokes of about the last meals that somebody had that none of us know personally. I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, it'd be a different story if I just pulled someone aside, who was just a fan and said, "Let's make fun of this person and their tragedy." That'd be cruel, but you know, I, it's all for fun. I, if people take it too seriously, and there's nothing I can really do about that. They say life is short, but it's the longest thing we'll ever do. That's true. I want to know the last meal of death row inmates. That was last week, Peyton. Last week. Last week was last meals of the condemned. Next week is Al Capone is next week. Fun facts: Janis Joplin is my sixth cousin. Wow. I'm related to not Burt Reynolds, but Tom Selleck by marriage. My my wife's stepfather, it'd be his cousin. I'm sorry, Jennifer. I truly am, and I truly hope that when that final day comes, that you are able to pass without pain. And I hope that in between now and then that you're able to be comfortable and know that there are people out there. If they're not there with you, right there in the room with you, you know that people out there care. And I'm truly sorry, to hear that you have stage 4. Well, thank you, Jennifer. Directly related to, and it went by before I could read it. Taco salad enchiladas. Jonathan Swift, author of Gulliver's Travel. Wow, that's that's cool. I'm not related to, and besides by marriage, I don't think I'm related to anybody that's famous that I know of. I mean, none of my siblings are famous. We're just hardworking, individuals, and we try to do the next right thing in our lives. I got some uncles who've done some things, that make like them famous within their own communities. But Sherman is my great grandfather, great great grandfather, Walt Sherman, with Sherman. Do you know Jonathan Swift lived about 20 minutes from me in a round house because spirits lived in corners. Gulliver's Travels was based on a rock formation, um, Cave Hill. Did not know. I didn't know any of that. Hmm. Juicy Jules is still guessing, letters B. You haven't done anything wrong, Jennifer. St. Louis Cardinals baseball. Tim McCarver is your second cousin. Well, that's cool. I went to high school and kid from my high school baseball team was on the Minnesota Twins World Series team. I want to say that was 1984. The second time they went to the World Series, they went in like 82, and then I think they went in like 84, 86, somewhere in there. But he was on the World Series team. He didn't actually get to pitch in the World Series or any of the playoff games, but he was on the team and he got a ring. Will, what about Capone? Al Capone trivia questions are next Sunday. Next weekend on Sunday, we have 15 questions about things you may not know about Al Capone, the mobster. Carbon Hill are in the mountains along the shoreline. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed tonight's trivia questions. Mac, the mountains look like a giant face, hence Gulliver's Travels. It's been a while since I've read Gulliver's Travels. Started reading Bentley Little's book recently. I have in the house. I can't remember what it is, a summoning or something like that. Even at 300 pounds, Elvis is a hunk of burning love. Hunk of burning love. Imaginative lad for sure. Okay, cool. It's long reported here that Capone funded and hid in a local restaurant here. A walking tour of San Francisco. That's cool. I've never done a walking tour. I've been to San Francisco quite a few times. But I've never taken a walking tour of the city. There's one that they offer in Seattle. I've always wanted to do of the what's left of the underground, the city, because Seattle after the earthquake they just built the town right back on top of the other one. I see food, I eat food. There you go. Root beer. I'm going to San Francisco. Food is good. Food is something that we all need. We all have to eat to live. Just subscribed. I'm guessing you're subscribing to the walking tour of San Francisco. And Roy's chat. I'll have to check that out. Last time I was in San Francisco was when I was in college. Me and a bunch of my roommates were, let's just say we were going to be asked nicely to not attend Washington State University anymore. And we filled a my friend had it's the European version of the Ford Taurus, the Mercure. We filled the car with as much beer as we could buy. We bought a couple loaves of bread, jar of jelly, and a jar of peanut butter, and then took everything that we had left over cash wise, and we just decided to take a road trip before our parents all found out that we were about to get asked not to come back to school. We were being put on academic probation. So we drove to San Francisco. The first couple nights we stayed out along the ocean off of Highway 101, and made a bonfire, stayed warm, hung out, drank beer, just screwed around. And then we stayed in. My mom was a member of Holiday Clubs International, so I got us like I think 4 or 5 nights free stays at the Holiday Inn in Chinatown. So then we went from Highway 101 to Holiday Inn, and we stayed there until we drank all the beer and ate all the bread. And the one meal that we all ate out, we went to walking around in Chinatown, and I found like this place that was serving like this ginormous meals for like $5. It was like Chinese food. I still can't remember what the hell it was called, but it was just a huge platter of food for $5. But we went to like Fisherman's Wharf, um, you know, Ripley's Museum. We did some of the touristy stuff. Walked around Haight Ashbury. Um, they saw the universities there, Berkeley. Drove around, here and there. Went saw the Golden Gate Bridge, stuff like that. But and then after we were done, you know, we didn't have any money left, so we called our parents, to send us money. Them not knowing that we weren't in school, so they wired us money. We picked up the money and then drove back home. I was 21, 22 years old back then when I did that. It was an adventure. One of those things in life that you only had one chance to do it, and it was the one and only chance that we were ever going to do anything like that. Park is one of your favorite places. Good old days before the internet. Good old days before the internet, before responsibilities, or much of anything else. I mean, but it worked out for the four of us, because my all four of us were roommates. So it was like these guys were never going to do anything like this ever again. It was their one chance to just kind of like step outside of their norm. Excuse me. I was the I was working on my getting my degree as become an elementary school teacher, and my other four roommates were all engineering students, mechanical, chemical, and I think electrical engineering or something like that. I can't remember what Brian was. To say that these guys were not exactly what you call the most popular individuals in a social situation would be an understatement. And it had nothing to do with the engineering, or what they did. It was just they never got outside of their and stepped outside of their own lives. And to this day, they look back on that trip that we took for 9 days total. But it was it was definitely something that they've never done anything before then and have never done something like that since then. But they have that one memory for those 9 days of how, we weren't held down by any restrictions or requirements. Nobody expected anything of us. And they look back on it today. All of them do. I can only keep contact with three of the four, but they look back on it now. It's like that was something really special. Liam Neeson trained to be a teacher. On his first solo day, he punched a rowdy student. I have not approved them putting down the royals, but the book reflects his limited life experience. Yeah, it's something that I don't know why I was even going to school for that. It wasn't really. It was kind of like Jennifer. If the it's kind of hard to explain. I had a teacher that I kind of looked up to. It was a mentor, who kind of kept me interested in wanting to go to school, and pursuing an education. Yeah, otherwise I probably would have given up after stopped going, getting an education after high school, or if I would have even completed high school. But this teacher, kind of took me under the wing and said, "Look, there's more in this world than the little environment you're closed in on." And made me take a look at the world that is such a bigger place. So I wanted to go to school to become a school teacher, but I don't know if I ever would have done it. But I could go back and finish it, but I don't know what I would do. I don't know. I never completed the actual degree program because my entire intention was to be an art teacher, but not a lot of money in being a school teacher. I mean, there's definitely more money in that than this, but who knows? Juicy Jules is D, whichever question she's on. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap up tonight's stream there. I hope you all have a terrific week ahead. And for everybody who joined us tonight and took part in the trivia, thank you again. So again, we'll next Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We do this again. Another 15 trivia crime questions for and next weekend we are doing Al Capone. I'm still striving towards my educational goals. You keep on, Pigeon Mac. Don't ever give up. If it's something you truly want to do, don't give up on yourself. Just keep on going forward. But thank you again, everyone. You all have a terrific week ahead.